Good morning. Good morning. How are we doing? It is 8 a.m. Central Standard Time on Wednesday, the 9th of April. The week is moving along. The week is moving along. My name is Keith. If you're new to the stream, I take a look at what goes on in the tech job news world and look at what goes on in the greater tech world in terms of news. I've been a professional developer for over 30 years. Currently, I am managing a coding school. I help people upskill to stay current with the skills that they need. And many people have found themselves unemployed in the last 6 months through layoffs and other means. And they're looking to get back into the workforce. And I created the stream as a place to kind of hang out in the mornings when you're getting out your job application. So get up in the morning, grab yourself a caffeinated beverage, check out the job boards, start getting those apps out, and put my voice in your ears in the background while you're doing it. You can kind of get caught up on the news, caught up on what's going on in the greater tech job market. So, welcome, welcome. Let me double check the streams and make sure that we are indeed streaming on YouTube, check, and on Twitch, yes, and on LinkedIn, Twitch, and YouTube. If you happen to know anybody who is unemployed in tech and looking for a job and could use a pal to hang out with, to stay consistent with, to get up in the morning with, um, please share the stream with them. Please share the stream. We have been doing this since the first of the year, so three and a half months coming up on, and we're slowly picking up some traction here. People are finding out about it. I am good at what I do. What I don't do is market. I'm not very good at marketing, so I could use a hand. If you know anybody who could use this, please share it, and we'll help more people stay consistent in their search for a job. Okay, so the two things I do on this stream are check out the job trends and check out the news. So let's check out those job trends. I get these graphs. I make these graphs by getting up every morning, bright and early, and I check the job numbers. I get them from Indeed.com. And these aren't meant to be the full job numbers of all the jobs being posted today, or in the last 24 hours, but Indeed.com has between 15 and 20% of all the job postings on their platform, and that is significant. That's a statistically significant number that we can get a good sense of job trends from. What am I searching for? I'm searching for JavaScript developers because those are the bulk of web developers. If more JavaScript developers are getting jobs or jobs are being posted, that means that the web world is doing better and growing. If there are less, we're in a bit of a downturn. We have been really flat, as you can see in our graphs here. The first one in the upper left-hand corner is the last 7 days, and it's been basically flat. The last 6 months, it is a little bit lower. It just took a dip because of this crazy tariff stuff. And so it is currently lower than it was 6 months, but not by a ton, by a little bit. The more instructive number, illuminative number, is this last year. What's been going on in the last year? And as you can see, in the last year, we are considerably lower, 40% lower than we were this time last year, which factors in seasonal trends, and we really should be seeing these numbers a lot higher right now, and we can lay that probably at the foot of all the uncertainty that's in the markets right now. A lot of talk about tariffs, a lot of talk about what the administration is doing right now and how it's having long-term effects on the economy. You can argue about whether the long-term effects are good or bad, but it's pretty clear from the short-term effects, at least in our industry, that it is making that uncertainty in the ability for companies to make forecasts about the future is at best putting hiring freezes on, at worst starting to shed some jobs. So we're just it's just a rough patch right now, and these are things that we cannot control. What we can control is getting up every day and getting out the applications for those jobs that do show up. And we can see the number's lower than we would like, but what we can see from the graph is there are new jobs being posted every day. The other thing that I do is check out what's going on in the news. I get my news from a lot of different sources, but one of them is on LinkedIn.com. I got a nice little news feed, and typically about half the stories on the news feed at any one time of day is pertinent to what we do here, talking about tech, talking about jobs, talking about the greater business and financial world, which affect those two things. So let's see what's in the news today. Alphabet snags the top spot in LinkedIn's top companies list, a data-backed ranking of the best workplaces for career growth in the U.S. amid workers' waning confidence in their career prospects. The list surfaces employers that stand out in their ability to attract and retain talent, whether through upskilling programs or shifting to skills-based hiring. The honorees span the sector from tech to finance to consulting. A lot of talk about consulting, and a lot of layoffs recently in consulting. It'll be interesting to see. Most estimates are that that AI, while it does affect tech and it does affect other industries, that consulting will be hit the worst. And we'll see. It's going to take some time to see how that all shakes out, but there we go. U.S. tariffs begin. China retaliates. Updated 3 minutes ago. I refreshed this about 20 minutes ago. So within the last hour, China hit back at Trump's administration's sweeping new tariffs by raising its tariffs on U.S. goods to 84% starting Thursday. The world's largest exporter and a major American trading partner was hit with a 104% cumulative tariff on its goods on dozens of countries, and it went into effect early Wednesday, causing turmoil in the markets worldwide. Duties also went into effect on Vietnam, Cambodia, Indonesia, and Taiwan. Yeah, things are going to get more expensive. Things are going to get more expensive. Either because they cost more through these tariffs, or because, companies take advantage of the bad news and raise their prices. It's going to be hard to tease that out because some of these tariffs are onerous and will raise prices. But we can't. It's hard for us to micromanage as consumers. Like when we go to Walmart and look at what's on the shelves, which one of them are coming from China and have the big tariff that they have to pay on the way in, and which ones are from less tariffed countries or from American-made goods that also happen to be raising their prices because that's what the market will pay. If you're not a heavily tariffed company, but your competition just raised their prices 25%, well, if you raised your prices 20%, like still make a premium there and not have the tariffs to pay off in that process. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how that all shakes out. See a lot of people talking about, going to the big box stores and stocking up on things. Those dry goods, toothpaste, all kinds of things that'll keep. You're probably in. It's probably a pertinent thing to go load up on that stuff and put it on the shelves in your garage if you can help it. Not looking forward to that. Tariffs rattle the bond market. So the bond market's always been the safe place to put your money. I've got a small percentage of my assets in the bond market. Global stock and bond markets sunk Wednesday as new U.S. tariffs took effect, prompting retaliatory measures from China and other trading partners. Investors sold even the safest of assets. Yields on benchmark 10-year treasuries rose as high as 4.47 as prices fell. Stocks in Europe and Japan dropped sharply as oil sank below $60 for the first time in 4 years. Gas will be getting cheap. U.S. stock futures were down after 4 days of losses in what Deutsche Bank is calling simultaneous collapse in the price of all U.S. assets. It is deflationary. So in the short term, again, gas is cheap for all those return to work people if you're lucky enough to keep your job. AI deepfakes flood the job market. Hiring managers face an unsettling new question. Is the remote applicant on a video interview actually an AI deepfake? Increasingly, the answer is yes. This seems like a made-up story. As candidates tap generative AI tools to alter their resumes, voices, and even video avatars, while some job seekers simply want to land a position for which they are not legally qualified, others are looking to install malware or expose security weaknesses. By 2028, a quarter of job applicants worldwide will be fake. Well, there's another argument for in the office, return to office. Obviously, video avatars are not there yet. For a short recorded message, yes. For an actual 30-minute, hour-long video conference like those, that's not there. The Turing test has not been met. Now, if it were, audio only, and somebody were, describing their voices, some of the AI voices are fast enough that conversationally you might be able to get away with that. Yeah. I'm not sure how much that helps, though. Depends. Like, say, if you've got doctored documents about you being able to legally work in the United States and you wanted to remove your accent or even change your language, I could see where that is possible. I just don't see that as a large number. This is not a big problem. Getting to a quarter of job applicants worldwide by 2028, 3 years, 2.5 years. I mean, things are accelerating, but I don't know. I don't see that. It's hard for us. We think linearly. It's hard for us to imagine what world looks like in an exponential growth curve, but again, showing up, being in person solves all these problems. So, there we go. All right, how we doing? Doing good. I also like to check out Google News while I'm on the stream. I don't actually hit Google News very much when I'm not on the stream, but it's convenient enough. Um, Mostly, I get my news from newsletters, aggregators, people who are experts who feed me the news in their newsletters. I've got probably 2 dozen of them over the course of a week. Some of them are daily. Most of them are a couple of times a week that show up with different news stories and different aspects of tech, whether it's AI or um, front end development, which is where my career started and lived. Not started, but really um, the bulk of my time was as a front end developer. Um, let's see. Let's see. Nothing's jumping out there. Let's hit the technology tab. How to buy a Nintendo Switch. Always a lot of video game stuff. Videos and phones. They get the most number of new press releases out every day. Google shows off new AR glasses and VR headset at TED. They really believe that this is going to be a thing. I mean, those look a lot like my glasses, or glasses that I would wear. Kind of nerdy, a little thick. Um, but what are they capable of? These glasses work with your phone, streaming back and forth. Okay, so that's not onboard computing. The ability to overlay multiple windows, see immersive view, and play a 360-degree video of snowboarding. Again, none of these are killer apps. Google representative is not immediate. Well, demos such as Google and Meta's prove the technology has been miniaturized enough to make augmented reality inside the glasses a technical possibility. Next key will be figuring out how to improve battery life and getting the cost down. What is the cost? It's all tech demos. We're not there yet. The software is still far ahead of where the hardware is. Let's see. Yeah, I saw a story yesterday that a bunch of people were rushing to Apple to buy new iPhones and stuff because they think that tariffs are going to raise the price to $2,000 from $1,100, $1,300. I'm wondering how many of those people are just scalpers who are just trying to load up so that they can flip them in 2 months when the price goes up. I just saw this Blueprints video game demo yesterday. There's tons of news in the last couple of days about this new video game that everybody says already in the running for Game of the Year. I was like, it seems a little premature. Why is SoCal Mansion built for John Stamos $13 million in the technology sector? Why? What else? Anything good? More video games. Do, 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 do. Mm-mm-mm. AR, VR. AR, VR. AR and VR. What the heck? This is more VR stories than I've seen in a long time. Maybe because I just clicked on that one. Oh, I clicked on the wrong tab. I thought I was clicking on the artificial intelligence tab. Never mind. Never mind. How are we doing on time? We're doing all right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Met a whistleblower to tell Congress that the company aided China in the AI race. What? Dr. Oz pushed for AI healthcare and first Medicare town hall. How Google used AI to recreate the Wizard of Oz for Las Vegas Sphere. Okay. Trump is pushing coal. Ay, ay, ay. Hey, we have the newest 22nd century technology, AI. Let's start digging some more coal out of the ground and getting our steampunk on in order to fuel it. This world. They say that the future is unevenly distributed, but um, typically that means that the countries that don't have the latest tech are the ones that are behind in technology. Now we're promoting old technology to fuel new technology. That doesn't make any sense to me. AI might be scanning your resumes. Yes, yes, yes. Let's take a look at that. Applying for a new job, human resource representatives or hiring manager may not be the first to review your resume. This is not new. Instead, it may be an AI powered tool, with some job postings attracting hundreds or thousands of applicants. Companies are increasingly using AI to sort through the applicants before they reach human recruiter. Increasingly, uh, accordingly, according to the data from job seeker resources, 84% of hiring managers report using AI to screen resumes and applications, and the AI recruitment sector is expected to experience a compound annual growth of 6.1% between 2023 and 2030. As I say over and over on this stream, don't pay attention to anything that prognosticates more than 18 months ahead because they have no idea. Those numbers are nonsense. While companies have long been using applicant tracking systems to parse resumes for skills and keywords, AI has the potential to further automate the process by reading resumes and applicants to find suitable candidates. But can that make it more difficult to guarantee a resume gets seen by a human? Experts say that AI can both benefit recruiters and candidates by allowing applications to be seen in their entirety by the algorithm. Reducing reliance on keyword scanning methods may penalize candidates by omitting specific words from their resume. This is something that's interesting because, again, companies for a long time, almost a decade, have been using software to scan resumes for keywords. If we don't see enough keywords, they go in the no pile as a way to weed through 100 resumes and get it down to 20, right? And in and of itself, that's fine, generally speaking. But, the argument has always been, and I've always said, get up every morning, filter for the last 24 hours, get into the latest, get your resume in on the most recent jobs being posted, so you can get to the top of the stack, right? Because again, if it takes it from 100 down to 20, and you're at the top of the stack of the 100, you're gonna be at the top of the stack of the 20, and you'll be more likely to be seen by a human being, right? If it's still going to be important to get at the top of the stack, but it will be interesting to see if you are the right fit and your resume looks like you're the right fit. The thing is, the AI can only see what it can see. The question is, will the AI evolve to a place where it'll also be checking your LinkedIn, checking your Facebook, checking your Instagram, checking all these other sources, not just your resume? Because that's something that the AI might, likely eventually do, is not just look at your resume, make that the first thing that it sees, but then look at your LinkedIn to verify. And if that looks good, then extend even further, right? And then you start getting into curious territory, right? Where then it's going to have to be making some decisions like, oh, it might find red flags. Like it says you're in San Diego, but, your Facebook says spend all your time in Pittsburgh. What's up with that, right? So that might be interesting. But it also might be, you make a whole lot of political statements. You're more likely to embarrass the company because of your, off time, That's interesting. Yeah, you know, this is not going away. When we can automate jobs that are not fun and are prone to human error, we're going to be doing that. This is going to be the way. The question is, again, how do you game the system? Well, number one is as a job hunter, use AI tools too, right? Put your resume, point your LinkedIn to the AI, ask for ways to improve. Put the job posting that you're going to be posting for in there. Ask what's the percentage of likelihood that I'd be a good fit for this job. How can I improve for this role? And there'll be some more tools for us as job seekers to identify the right jobs for our skill set too. So that it's going to work on both sides. It'll be interesting to see. All right, we're getting down to it. Let's talk about, again, if you are new to the stream, if you have not seen me before, if you were late to the stream today, my name's Keith. I've been a professional developer for over 30 years. Currently, I'm managing a coding school, and at that coding school, I help people upskill and stay current in their job skills to keep them valuable for their employers or more attractive to new employers. And I created this stream as a help as a hangout for people who are looking for jobs in tech and are looking for ways to stay current and consistent in their job search. So I am that little voice in your head in the background while you're getting out your job applications. If you know anybody who could use my friendly voice and my perspective, my being the accountability partner, please share the stream. We stream Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time on Twitch, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. Always looking for for new viewers to come out, add to the conversation. In the meantime, and in between time, we will see you in 23 hours and 30 minutes. 23 hours and 30 minutes. We will be back on Thursday morning. You guys have a great day. Get those job apps out.